Well, question period took place today, and I have very strong emotions about it. I kind of ended my live stream on House of Canada with a bit of a crash out. I'm very angry. I'm angry. I'm very angry, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not with the Liberals. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm pissed with the Liberals just as much as the next Conservative. But the Conservatives are pissing me off as well. So if you want to see the crash out, stick around till the end of the video. But if you want to see the scripted question period of questions with no answers, then here's the freaking video.
Oral questions.
Oral questions.
The Honourable Member for Brantford.
Speaker, today the Auditor General released a scathing audit on the top ArriveCan fraudster GC Strategies. This two-person basement dwelling company feasted on $64 million taxpayer dollars. This was a direct gift from the Liberal government who allowed basic procurement rules to be completely ignored over the last 10 years. Canadians still don't know who did the work, what was done, if they were qualified, if they had security clearances. This is complete government incompetence. The ask is simple. When will taxpayers get their money back?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
What's your plan?
Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable member for his question. I thank the Auditor General for her service. I note that GC Strategy has been prohibited from government contracts for 7 years, and it's that standard, the minimum. As a member of Canada's new government and a new member of Parliament, we will uphold higher standards, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Brantford, Brant South, Six Nations.
Mr. Speaker, shockingly, the very same Liberal ministers who had their fingerprints all over the Arrive scam are still in cabinet today, namely the Jobs Minister, the U.S. Trade Minister, and his Foreign Affairs Minister. Their lack of ministerial responsibility is both negligent and inexcusable. The fraudulent payment of $64 million isn't just about reckless spending, it's a total waste of taxpayer dollars and a betrayal of Canadians who are living through a cost of living crisis. So I ask the Prime Minister again, when will taxpayers get their money back?
That's a good question.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
That's the best question.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to commend the members opposite for supporting the Making Life More Affordable Act to get taxpayer dollars back to Canadians. And commit. This government is committed. This new government is committed to making the best use of all taxpayers' dollars.
The Honourable Member for Selkirk Interlake.
Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General just slammed these Liberals in her report this morning and said what we've known all along. The Liberals have broken our military. Today's F-35 report criticized the Liberals for misleading cost projections that are 50% higher by over $14 billion, ongoing construction delays for necessary infrastructure, ignoring the severe pilot and mechanic shortage, and implementing weak oversight mechanisms. The ministers who were responsible for this debacle are still sitting in here. Will the Prime Minister hold them accountable for this mess?
Here. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to know if the member opposite holds himself accountable for letting military spending fall below 1%. That's right. When the Conservatives were in government. And this government has doubled military spending in cash terms. We are meeting our NATO obligations this year, leading from the front.
The Honourable Member for Selkirk Interlake.
Prime Minister, we actually delivered for our military. We bought brand new 5 CF-18 Glowmasters, new Hertz, new Leopard tanks, new Chinook helicopters. We delivered. Instead, what we got here is an Auditor General report reference to 2018 report on the Canada's fighter jets. That report said the biggest obstacle to meeting operational requirements was a shortage of fighter pilots and technicians. Over the last Liberal decade, the Liberals have worsened this capability gap through mismanagement and completely ignoring the Auditor General's recommendations. So the question is, the Foreign Minister who is responsible for the military back in 2018 is still in his cabinet. Why? Good question.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I was proud to stand yesterday with the Minister of National Defence, the Chief of the Defence Force, and announce the largest increase in military expenditure in decades. Building our military strong, building our military with Canadian technology, Canadian jobs, Canadian steel, Canadian aluminum. That's what the review of the F-35 is about. That's what the future of this country is about.
Speaker, the Auditor General has once again exposed Liberal incompetence, highlighting millions wasted on their good friends and favourite consultants, GC Strategies. Not only have the Liberals not clawed back one penny from this scam, every Trudeau minister with his fingerprints on the scandal has been promoted by this Prime Minister. And now the Liberals are planning an extra $26 billion of taxpayer money for their insider consultant friends. Now, how about spend less on your insider friends and invest more in clawing back the money from GC Strategies?
The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation.
Mr. Speaker, I'll note that in March 2024, my department has terminated all contracts with GC Strategies and has revoked its security clearance so that it renders it ineligible for contracts that require that security clearance. But we went even further. The Office of Supplier Integrity last week determined that GC Strategies was ineligible for 7 years. This is a free, independent process, holding bad actors to account, working exactly as it should, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Blacklist all the people associated. They can just make a new company.
Years after they were exposed, now $64 million went to Liberal friends at GC Strategies. Rampant sole sourcing of contracts with no justification and projects paid for despite no work being done. Incompetence is so ingrained in this government, they've actually ordered officials to put in writing that they are not violating procurement rules when they're granting contracts. Now the Liberals want $26 billion more for these consultants. When will the Liberals turn off the taps to their friends and focus instead on clawing back the money from this fraudulent GC Strategies?
The Honourable Minister for Government Transformation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the Auditor General for her report and highlight that we have acted on previous reports by the Auditor General, and also from internal audits to increase transparency, increase data collection, increase oversight. But also note, Mr. Speaker, that last year my department has terminated all contracts with GC Strategies, has revoked its security clearance, and as of last week, the Office of Supplier Integrity has rendered a decision making GC Strategy ineligible for contracts for 7 years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Midnapore.
If you're spending $64 million on a product, you would probably think to at least do some price comparisons. Yet the Liberal government did no such thing. The Auditor General said that in 82% of GC Strategies contracts examined, there was no evidence that fees were being charged by this two-person company were based on a fair market value. Is this the Prime Minister's idea of a new fiscal discipline, or does price really not matter to Liberals when it comes to paying their well-connected friends? When will we get our money back?
Why is she reading her script
The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation.
Mr. Speaker,
And
let
then
me be
pops her eyes
absolutely
out of her
clear.
head at the
Misconduct
last
of any
second.
kind in the procurement process is never acceptable, which is why we've acted on previous recommendations from the Auditor General. And as of last year, GC Strategies has seen its contracts terminated by the Government of Canada, and we've revoked their security clearance. Now we went even further. The Office of Supplier Integrity has rendered a decision making GC Strategy ineligible for 7 years, Mr. Speaker. This is a process that's free and independent, holding bad actors to account, and it is working as it should. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member for Calgary Midnapore.
Check for fair market value. Canadians could hope that at least we got something in return for $64 million. Not the case here. This is how Liberals are spending your money. Overpaid and nothing to show for it. The Auditor General said only 54% of contracts audited could prove deliverables were received. Is this the Prime Minister's new fiscal discipline? Or for Liberals, is it business as usual? When will we get our money back?
The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation and
As I've highlighted in previous answers, in March 2024, PSPC has terminated all contracts with GC Strategies. We revoked their security clearance. Now, the Office of Supplier Integrity, which we've put in place after a thorough investigation, determined that GC Strategies met the threshold to be found ineligible for government contracts. As such, they are ineligible for the next 7 years. This is a process to hold bad actors accountable, because we will never accept and tolerate misconduct in the procurement process. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for Provencher.
Mr. Speaker, money doesn't grow on trees, but it sure seems to grow in the coffers of Liberal government insiders and contractors. Today we learned through the Auditor General's blistering report that 31 service procurement contracts had been awarded to GC Strategies for $92 million. Wow. The ministers didn't enforce security, the ministers didn't monitor contracts, and they didn't follow proper procurement policies. But guess what, Mr. Speaker? These same Trudeau ministers are in today's cabinet. Who is running that circus over there, and when will the Canadian taxpayer get their money back?
The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation.
Mr. Speaker, following a thorough investigation by the Officer of Supplier Integrity, last week a determination was made that GC Strategies should be ineligible for the next 7 years. This is a free and independent process we've put in place to hold bad actors to account, and it is working exactly as it should. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Auditor General's new report on housing shows just how badly this government has failed Canadians. Since 2018, the government spent over $300 million to fund a new bureaucracy called the Federal Lands Initiative. It built 309 units. That's less than 50 units a year. That's over $1 million a unit. Now the Prime Minister says he's going to create another bureaucracy to do exactly the same thing. So how much more Canadians' money will be flushed down the drain to pay for bureaucracies rather than paying for building homes?
The Honourable Minister of Government Transformation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the Auditor General for her report regarding office space and federal lands, and I'll note that we accept all recommendations, but I also know that she highlights that progress has been made, and we're on the way to meeting our objectives in terms of affordable housings on public lands, on federal lands, and this is very good news for Canadians, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Thornhill.
Speaker, when you accept the findings and you do the exact same thing, Canadians who need a place to live are the ones that end up paying the price. The Federal Lands Initiative, the crown jewel of the government's agenda on building housing, has attained just 7% of its target. Wow. And the people in charge of that initiative are the now Justice Minister and the now Finance Minister. Wow. They actually got promoted. In the real world, incompetence of this magnitude has consequences. So I have a simple question. Which one of them's getting fired?
There you go.
The Honourable Minister of Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm new to this place and thankful for the opportunity to be here. This new government is focused on moving forward and building affordable housing, using the federal lands that we can make available, and partnering in good faith with mayors, with premiers, with chiefs, working in partnership and in synergy with all levels of government, leveraging federal lands. We will do that.
Mr. Speaker, Liberals have spent over $300 million on a housing program, claiming they would build 4,000 units. In 7 years, they built 309. To put it bluntly, that's not close at all. They've missed the mark by 93%. So the question I have for the Prime Minister is, how can he continue to have the minister responsible for this failure in his cabinet? And how can he promote that failed minister to now be our Minister of Justice?
Great question. The Honourable Minister of Housing and Infrastructure.
Honourable Speaker, we have a great opportunity here to build housing, and when you look at the pathetic performance of Housing Minister Pierre Poilievre, who delivered six affordable housing units, in 1 year,
great point.
and 0 in the city of Vancouver, where I was serving.
Yeah,
0. That's a record that is deplorable, and that's a record that this government will never repeat. We are focused on building big.
The Honourable Member for Nanaimo Ladysmith.
On Vancouver Island, high prices are pushing thousands of families and seniors out of the housing market. Meanwhile, the Auditor General says government is sitting on empty office buildings and surplus land. They promised 4,000 homes through their signature housing initiative. After 7 years, they've delivered a measly 309. For this failure, the housing minister has been promoted to the justice portfolio. There's no justice in that, Mr. Speaker. How can the Prime Minister reward such failure while people in my riding are struggling to find a place to live?
The Honourable Minister of Housing.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Well, I'm very honoured to be here as the new Housing and Infrastructure Minister and to go forward with initiatives that will deliver affordable housing across Canada. And we will look for the support of the members opposite. We will look for partnerships with all levels of government to deliver that. We use all of the tools of the federal government to deliver with Build Canada Homes. We have a lot of opportunities ahead of us. We've got to stay focused and working together.
What is wrong? Okay, look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying this, but there's something seriously wrong with the Conservatives. Maybe I've got cabin fever. Maybe I'm angry post-election. Or maybe now that the hype of Pierre and the Conservatives is dwindling down, I'm seeing the party and how they work as for what it is. There's something seriously wrong with the advisors on the Conservative Party. And the party has had many offers from many people that are knowledgeable in how this works. The pleb, during the election, offered to step away from his YouTube channel and basically following Pierre Poilievre around on his own dime during the campaign. He said, I'll step away and I'll advise the Conservatives from the shadows. You know how much money is being made on social media? For him to make that offer that I'm just going to step away from YouTube, no one else did it. No one else did it. No one else put out that offer. People actually care about the party, and the Conservative Party and the advisors want to see the Conservative Party tank or something. There's some weird self-sabotaging shit going on. Pierre Poilievre trying to do a press conference at the same time as question period is ridiculous. I get that sometimes opposition party leaders, they talk to the cameras right before question period goes live. The NDP did it successfully. The NDP was successfully able to talk to reporters right before question period went live. Pierre didn't. Pierre is not acting like a politician. He's acting like a freaking influencer who's late to his own live stream. It's actually gross. It's a gross look. And today's question period is gross. Look, I have conservative values. I'm pro-conservative. It's not even a discussion that I'm pro-Pierre. I tried so hard to educate people on the fact that it's so important that the Conservatives need to win. But now they are just dropping the bag. I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. Everyone's angry with the GC strategies, $64 million Arrive scam thing that they pulled off, right? Couple of weirdos got a cabin, filled it with old computer equipment, and like, hey, look, yeah, we're building this app. We're working hard on it every day. It was like the biggest fraud Canada's experienced, and it was all out in the public. It was insane. We all saw it. So now the Conservatives are going, well, where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? The Liberals have been saying, okay, well, we basically banned GC strategies for the next 7 years from having any contracts with the government. Great. All it takes is one time for me to hear that and for me to say, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, they're banned. So what are some follow-up questions that you can ask? Well, me sitting here in my RV, not wearing pants, by the way. I'm just here in boxers. I'm not wearing pants. So I'm just sitting in my RV pantsless. I can come up with drinking $2 McDonald's coffee and I can think, okay, well, if they're banned for 7 years, then what are we going to do about the people that worked for GC Strategies? The two main guys. Are we going to blacklist them from having any affiliation with contracts with the government for 7 years as well? Because you can easily make a new numbered company. You just buy a shelf company and keep it a numbered company. And then, it's no longer GC Strategies. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Look at that. Are we going to do something about that? Not a single question was asked by the Conservatives this entire question period that had anything to do with that. It was all pre-scripted questions. It's so disingenuous. It's so disgusting. And I'm so angry with the Conservatives for literally they're going through the motions. There's no enthusiasm. There used to be enthusiasm. They used to care about the country. They used to say, hey, there's fraud over there. Let's do something about it. Now they're going through the motions to say that we're doing it. You lost the election. Get over it. Do your fucking job. Ask the questions or you're never going to be in power again.